Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into this episode of BiblioTech on Air, BiblioTech's official podcast. I'm Rosanna.
I'm Miranda.
And I'm Ruby.
And today we are going to be talking about the latest superhero film to hit theaters, Supergirl, starring Millie Alcock. And if you are curious about Supergirl and the world that she lives in, along with any other DC comics, make sure you check them out on Hoopla, specifically Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, which the comic kind of serves as the loose adaptation for the film itself. So with that said, before we get into these questions, general thoughts about the film. Did you enjoy it? Do you think there could have been more?
I enjoyed it. I didn't really know what to expect. I know it wasn't going to be Superman. I know they have completely different personalities. But I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't usually really know much about anything like DC world related, so I was kind of going in not having any expectations, but I think it was good. I enjoyed watching it. I liked getting to learn more about her since I did watch Superman and saw her in that a little bit. So it was cool to learn more about her.
Cool. Same. I enjoyed it. When you don't have a bunch of commentaries and reviews kind of, filling up the internet space and whispering in people's ears, don't go see it because she's a woman,
She's a girl.
She's a girl.
She's not a woman.
But yeah, that's kind of been like the stigma behind it, which is unfortunate because it really is a fun film. Not a blockbuster by any means, but it's definitely worth going to see and just kind of having a good time. But with that said, let's get into some of these questions. So, I know y'all mentioned y'all really hadn't been familiar with Supergirl. We have comics. We have the CW TV show from a few years ago. And she's been in a few, DC animated movies since DC was big on the animation kind of a few years ago. But, going on what we just talked about, was there anything that you liked learning about her? And what kind of expectations did you have, as far as the film goes, having seen Superman previously?
Yeah, I think other than Superman, I didn't really know anything about Supergirl. Seeing the glimpse of her character in Superman where she was a drunk with her dog and really aggressive. She's like, "Where's my dog?" I was like, "Oh, I like that. I like her. This is my first impression of her, and I really dig it." So that was literally all I had from her.
Priorities.
Yeah, I wanted to read the comic, but I was like, you know what? I like being surprised in the movie theaters. I just want to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I didn't have too many expectations. Like I said, I had seen her a little bit in Superman, but I did like the contrast of her personality and her way of life compared to Superman. And getting to see more of her backstory, and it started to make sense why she was how she was. She experienced a lot of different things going on, but yeah, I really enjoyed getting to see her dynamic and how she was interacting on the different worlds. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, we saw her kind of just out and about, not really having the story take place on Earth, Meanwhile, for Superman, we saw pretty much that 90% of the time on Earth, and then kind of like the little extra dimensions. But yeah, her story kind of spans the galaxy a little bit. So kind of going into that a little bit, we talk about how very different, or we see in the movie how very different Superman and Supergirl, Clark and Kara are. He's much more a loving, stand-up, golden boy kind of guy because he grew up on Earth. He didn't have the experience that she did of living on a broken planet, seeing her people die, her parents die. And so she's kind of burdened with, survivor's guilt. And this movie deals a lot with grief. How do you think her trauma was handled? And is it something that y'all think she could eventually move away from based on how her story played out?
I think so. I like where the movie ended off, where she was like, I'm done celebrating my birthday finally after hitting up all these bars and seeing that she's going to stay on Earth a little bit. I saw some growth in her this movie and I admired it.
Yeah, I also agree. I don't know. Obviously, that's a lot that she went through that people didn't even know about her planet and how it actually finally collapsed. And we didn't even see that. She didn't even see that. She still doesn't probably even know exactly how it happened or how long it took. So that was interesting. I liked the back and forth, getting to see how she would act now and then tying that into why and then jumping back to how she was acting, especially on her birthday, celebrating it alone with her dog, And I don't know if she'll get over it completely. I mean, that was a lot that she went through.
For sure.
And no one knows, why she was feeling even Clark, her only relative, will never understand what she went through staying behind that long.
Right. Because
so
even,
we'll
sorry.
No, you're good.
Because even seeing like, that they're both immigrants, Clark, he spent his whole life on Earth. He was raised by parents. And Kara, she had her parents. She had her family. She had her home, even if it was on a planet that was destroyed and still kind of dying. We see her arrive on Earth and she doesn't know the language. She doesn't know this man who's talking to her. She just has her little puppy. We see that's kind of truly the immigrant experience that we're all familiar with, like seeing on the news or, people in our families, people that we see every day. They come to somewhere foreign. They don't know anything about what, the location. They don't know the language. Yeah. And so we see her struggle with that. We see her struggle with adapting to Earth. This is so different to what she's known. I mean, aside from the grief, the just general sadness, we see that Clark, he tries to empathize with her, but again, like you said, Miranda, he doesn't understand what she's gone through and probably never will. But it is nice to see that at least they do have a relationship and that relationship has the potential to grow stronger based on how the movie ended.
I mean, her purpose too, like she never understood it, like from the beginning when her dad was like, you're gonna go to Earth. She's like, I'm literally just one life. Like what importance am I gonna make, And they don't put that pressure on her either. He's just like, you're just you were created out of the love between me and your mom. I want you to survive. You don't have just go be good. You don't have to go be the ruler of Earth or save humanity or anything like that. It's like, this is your purpose. I really liked that in there, that she doesn't have a purpose. She literally is trying to figure out why she's the only one left still alive, her and Clark.
Yeah.
And I like that you brought that up because we do see the parents in the Superman film. We see that Clark's parents sent him away with the expectation of you're going to be a conqueror. You're going to dominate these people. But then with Kara, we see that, again, her parents were just you're an extension of us. We just want you to be good. You don't have to be nice. You don't have to, be soft. You just have to be good. And I think that's such a good message for, there's probably going to be people who see that as woke or
What?
Yeah, because it's kind of you're telling a girl you don't have to be soft for anyone. You don't have to, kind of be a people pleaser. Just, be a good person. Help people, be good, but don't take crap.
I felt like that was so relatable. I feel like me, when I give advice to any of my younger family members, niece, nephew, whatever, I'm not telling them I have such great expectations for you. You're gonna grow up and become this spectacular person and be president one day, or I don't know. I mean, you can if you want to, but I'm just honestly, just be who you are. Be a good person.
Yeah.
Do what makes you happy. That. Just have that expectation in your head that that's what your life is meant to be. I feel like that brings down a lot of the pressure of what is expected of you, so you don't crash out and be no, I don't know.
With that said, her crash outs were merited.
Yeah, I mean,
when she goes, that scene where she goes up to space and just that silent scream into the galaxy.
Oh, dude, that was my favorite scene.
Yeah, that was a really good scene.
Yeah. That kind of reminds me.
BRB, I need to go to space.
I don't know if y'all ever tried this. If y'all ever worked in
scream in the freezer,
the fast freezer, the freezer thing, trying to see if it was soundproof. We tested it. It was not. But with that said, therapeutic. Okay, so going a bit more into the film and its characters, we don't have quite the rotating cast of characters that say Superman. And again, I'm not trying to compare it to Superman. I'm just using
literally
it as
Superman, Supergirl.
I'm not trying to compare films say one is better than the other, one hero dominates, blah, 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 blah.
But if you had to choose.
So kind of going into the film a little bit more, we see a rotating cast of characters. Not a whole lot compared to the big cameos that we had in Superman. We have Ruthie, who is kind of has the B plot going on, I guess, even though they share the same goal, her and Kara, of finding the Krem, the villains, brigands. But we see Lobo, who is played by Jason Momoa. He's had another role in the DC universe as Aquaman. So it's kind of fun to see him go a little bit loose, get a little bit crazy. But with that said, what do y'all think of this character? Pretty much not being familiar with him. And do you think he added anything or took something away from the story?
I liked him. He was the Mandalorian without his Grogu, so and a little bit more rougher around the edges. I thought he was really funny and interesting. He was a little corny, but I expect that kind of character in these type of movies.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like he added a lot of like comedic relief because obviously what Kara and Ruthie were going through is like serious and we're fighting, and then he's over here like, you're taking my motorcycle, I'm gonna kill you. And then like, you know, like that's like his whole thing. He's like, yeah, they're doing all this bad stuff, but they took my motorcycle. Like that's what he was focused on. I liked his character. I feel like it added some fun to it. Obviously it's like they're going through something serious, and then he's over here doing his little side quests, like just focused on himself. He does not care about anyone else. He's like, I'm not gonna help y'all. If what I do helps, okay, cool, but I don't care.
Right. He was pretty, I think, true to the comics, where Lobo, he does not care. He literally like sold out his own people, his own planet.
For the money?
His motivation is typically money or do what he wants.
Yeah.
And if it ends up benefiting someone else in the long run, like say Supergirl or Ruthie, then cool. If it doesn't, then he does not care.
Yeah.
Literally. Like he could be a villain. He could be, you know, an anti-hero.
Yeah.
He is just...
I loved him being little Ruthie's cheerleader at some points where he was like, wow, cute. I didn't expect that from you, but you go, girl.
Yeah.
He was just missing a snap.
He supports women's rights and women's wrongs. But more than anything, he supports Lobo's rights and Lobo's wrongs.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, he was a fun character, and it's kind of, you know, he's not like a super notable main like big three Batman, Wonder Woman, even like Justice League character. So seeing kind of like you know, some more, I guess, B characters come into the movie, it was fun. I think it added not really anything to the story, but it added a bit of, you know,
lightness.
Yeah.
I really liked Seth Rogen's character too. He didn't have a name or anything. He was really just a little glob of an alien.
Yeah, he was
unnamed
my
little bus driver glob.
Yeah. As soon as I left the theater, I tried finding his name, and he literally just doesn't have a name. The only thing that comes up is that he's voiced by Seth Rogen. But I was like, I wish he had a name because I wanted to talk about him, but he doesn't even have a name. So it's the alien in the bus, but the tiny one. I really enjoyed him.
Tiny, but lives strong in everyone's heart. A giant in everyone's heart.
Yes, in my heart. He was my favorite.
He was a fun little character.
Yeah.
Because you see the big alien and you see the little one. You know, little one has like this just kind of straightforward, deadpan, deep voice. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I should have called in Jay.
Which is a move that we can all, you know, kind of abide by. Okay. So kind of the emotional driving point of this story is Kara and her dog. Crypto, we met him in Superman, and we see more of him in, well, we don't really see more of him, but you know, he's kind of like haunting the narrative, I guess, the driving point. He's the baddest good boy and pretty much the motivation behind her actions. We learn how she came to have him, as well as glimpses of their time together and how deep their relationship is. Was this enough for you guys to be invested?
I got teary-eyed in the dog parts. I was like, oh my God, he didn't deserve that. Yeah. Why would you do that to this poor innocent human creature thing? So I really I loved his character and his fate. I can't remember if I knew he was not gonna die. But I was still worried for him.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it definitely added. I mean, it was very interesting to see how much she cared about that dog, because it didn't really seem like she had those emotions towards any humans in her life. So she put every feeling she has into this dog. And that's her one and only thing carrying her through and keeping her, even celebrating her birthday, like I said, like with no one but that dog. She's waking up to that dog. Like that's her whole being. So if that was my dog or my cat, Jasper, love him, I would be going through the galaxies. Like I would be at that bus stop, like take me to the other world because I can't, like, you know?
Yeah.
So I felt like that was like very relatable.
I mean, the stakes are always high when it's like, look at John Wick. He had like 5,000 movies seeking revenge for his dog. So why can't a girl do it?
Yeah. Exactly. And, you know, some people might not understand that like, you know, it's just a dog. that dog's family. That dog is everything, you know, the absolute emotional aspect of potentially losing your family, losing this little critter that means the world to you. You know,
that's all the family she has left.
it really
literally,
is.
that's it.
Like this little scrappy dog ran up to her during her mother's funeral and, was the one thing that made her happy. He accompanied her on a voyage, to Earth. Like that's even though they don't speak the same language, like they understand each other. That's her little bad boy.
Yeah, I do love that he's a bad boy. He's literally
he's very bad.
He's literally
the
not
baddest
even a good boy.
and it's so cute. And you could argue that like, okay, so why is she gonna, why is
train him?
No, why should that be the premise of the story? But then you could argue like there's movies that are based on like getting rich or like like kind of being a simp for someone else, and that's like the motivate. Why is that fine? But then like it's like a girl and her dog.
Yeah,
come on.
yeah.
Okay, but yeah, like Kara's relationship with her dog, I think, was sufficient to kind of carry this film. I do wish we would have seen Crypto a little bit more, but we know he's there, and obviously there's a reason we don't see him more. Because he's laying down, he's sick, he's dying. He lives. If you need to check,
Spoiler.
Or does the dog die? Or does the dog die.com.
Just double check that if you ever need to check on a movie. It's very helpful.
Yeah.
Let's get into the next question before I start crying. So with the climax of the film, we see Kara finally confronting Krem and the brigands. And Ruthier, she has him at knife point, or sword point, I should say, because her whole goal this film was to get revenge for her family that he killed. So we see Kara like push her away from that, not physically, but she's like, if you do this, there's no coming back. Like, you're going to think about this for the rest of your life. You're young, you have everything ahead of you. You're a good person. Don't do it. And so she's able to, they have their moment. They have a little emotional moment. And Ruthie walks away. But then Kara's like, you think you're going? Stab.
Stab.
So she kills him. She kills him. What did y'all think about that as kind of like the payoff, the climax, which is, you could say hypocritical, since she kind of went against what she was telling Ruthie. But like, what did y'all think about
I couldn't understand it at first. I was just like, just let her kill him. Like, she's seeking revenge. Her whole family died. What's we really gonna do? But then like looking out, like on the outside of it, I'm like, this is literally a 13-year-old girl. Like, do we really want her to be killing people?
Yeah.
But so I can see that. And like I don't think there's any hypocrisy there. Like Supergirl knows this guy's gotta die. He's not a good guy. He's not a terrible. No, he's a terrible guy.
Whoa, Ruby.
He's a terrible guy.
Are you defending men?
No. I mean, we'll talk about Krem as a villain in a little bit, but he's a terrible guy. He needs to die. Ruthie probably shouldn't be the one to do it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it was hypocritical. I mean, we know that Kara's already been through a lot. She's already done a lot of things that she's probably not proud of, and she's dealt with people like him. So her whole thing was making sure Ruthier doesn't turn into her. And if she has to kill him on her behalf to make sure it's actually done. And I'm glad she killed him.
Hell yeah.
I would have been more upset
if they let him live.
Yeah, like if they
just
both walked
arrested
away
him.
and like tried to be the better. No, there's no being the better person. Like let Ruthier feel like she was the better person and like isn't gonna have that on her soul or whatever. He needed to die.
Yeah, he was unredeemable.
It wasn't even like he was like a bully taking kids' lunch. Like he was stealing girls. Like he was stealing people,
making them into child brides.
Yeah,
he was stealing them, killing families.
Yeah,
like, he poisoned her dog. Like, come on.
Yeah. So I'm glad he died, and I'm glad that she was the one to do it and try to get Ruth on a better path. Because although she saw terrible things, she doesn't have to do terrible things. You know.
Yeah.
So.
And it's not like, I mean, you're still killing someone. I personally think that, like, it was very necessary, like, what you guys are saying. Like, she had to do it. It was again, revenge for herself, but also not letting this guy be loose because he's just going to keep doing the same thing. And who's to say he won't come back and try to kill them as revenge in the future?
That's very
And personally, I do like a protagonist that's not afraid to kill people. I get sometimes for the story, it's necessary to, the character's whole thing is like, no, I don't kill people. I just really hurt them. Like Superman or Batman, who beats them within an inch of their life, but still lets them live. Or like, different protagonists where it's like, peace is the better option. I liked that it went against that. I really liked that it went against that. And again, Ruthie, she's a baby. She's still a kid. I don't think I would have been upset if she killed him. Like, that's going to be something for her to deal with in the future.
Yeah,
but
is that really going to make her feel better? Like from the start, I was like, okay, she's seeking revenge. Like, what is Homegirl going to do after that? After she kills the guy?
Yeah. Like, I don't know if their relationship was developed enough.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it was in the movie, which is kind of like a point that does fall flat. But it does at least have enough to make that end moment feel merited for her. But also if Ruthie had just kind of gone behind, we do see her go behind Kara's back and would have just killed him, like, that would have been fine too.
Yeah, I know.
Even though she's a kid. But yeah,
you're right. I do wish there was more out of their relationship.
Yeah.
I did feel like something was lacking and I couldn't find out where it was lacking, because I was like, the little girl, she was a pretty good actress. Millie Alcock, love her as an actress. She does phenomenal in anything that she's in. So I was like, what am I missing here? Something is not entirely bringing me into the movie. And I think I just would have wanted a little bit more from both of them. Like in their relationship.
I don't feel like I ever thought they not even appreciated, like, I don't, even in the end, like, I don't feel like they had like a friendship or like a relationship established
to like want to stay together.
That's why
after
when she
the
was like,
done.
do you want to come with me? And I was like, do y'all even know each other?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I wish I had seen that, because even at the point where they separated for that moment and then she stowed away to go to the planet without Kara knowing, I was like, they don't seem to even care for each other. It's really, I felt like they were only tied together because of their end goal, not because they actually wanted to protect each other. I didn't really feel that. I only felt like Kara was protecting Ruth because she's a child that's following her into dangerous situations. So it would be crazy if she just let her die because of that, you know? So I don't know. That's how I was feeling. And then like the whole scene when Kara was like slowly dying because she was on a planet where she was the green time of the day. That time. Was it green?
It's green o'clock.
It's green o'clock.
You know what I mean? When the sun was shifting and it was green.
The kryptonite.
Yeah, like I felt sad, I guess. But I didn't feel that sad because I was like, y'all don't really have like a dynamic to where I feel like Ruth is actually losing someone close to her. And she would rather have her, like, I felt like she would rather have Crypto right there with her than Ruthie.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I did feel like that. And I feel like that kind of pulled me out of it a lot. Like, I was like, oh, okay. Like,
Like, I do think ultimately they both had their walls up very high, especially Kara. She had a whole friggin' citadel built, to keep out emotions and relationships. So I do think that, like, when they kind of like celebrated her birthday at the end, if we had maybe seen clips of that, like maybe them hanging out, getting to know each other, now that all of this is resolved and we do see them develop like a real friendship, or even like, because it seemed like the potential was for like big sister, little sister dynamic.
Definitely.
And we didn't really quite see that payoff. But if it had been a little bit more developed, I think that would have really,
sealed it.
Sealed the deal, tied it together. But, there's always room in the future for that. So getting to the end, overall, what would you rate the film? What do you think of it? Were there any scenes that you want to talk about that stood out to you? Any characters that you want to mention?
I feel like I would rate it maybe like a 7 out of 10. It kind of felt like a typical DC movie for me, where it was like, like very dark, literally like super dark. Couldn't really see a bunch of stuff what that was going on. Lacking a lot of colors, and which I get, like, because she's not wearing her Supergirl outfit at all until the end. But I don't know. I would have liked to see a little bit more color, especially with all the like Earth planet to planet traveling, galaxy traveling. I felt like there's a lot of that, but I don't know why it just felt really dark.
Yeah, I agree. I think It was very dark, especially as someone that doesn't really know anything. I could not distinguish any of the planets.
Yeah.
They all looked just dry and dark and red. Like it was just kind of
The only difference was like the sun.
Yeah.
It's
like,
either a red sun, it's either a yellow
Yeah.
sun, or a green sun, which I get. I mean, that's how it is, but I don't know. Do a little bit more of a distinction.
Yeah. I feel like I couldn't really tell a difference between the planets, which was kind of interesting because it's such a they were making it a very big deal to travel from each planet and showing how they get there. But then once they arrived, I was like, it looks like they're on the same planet. Like I couldn't really tell a difference besides obviously the sun. But even then, like you would think there would be different, I don't know, like maybe everyone would look very distinct. Like you could tell people apart and like the different types of people that would live on that planet, the different technology maybe they would have. I thought there would be a little bit more of distinctions, but maybe it also was the fact that all the places she visited were like places that were falling apart with bad people. So they all just were falling apart and maybe they looked different before all that was occurring. And so, yeah.
The side of the galaxy
Yeah.
where you don't go outside your house after 10 p.m.
So I think maybe that. But overall, I enjoyed it. I mean, I already shared what my favorite character was. A little alien. Someone name him, please.
You
That's
name him.
all I want. I don't even know, a little alien on the bus. I don't know. I haven't thought that far, but he was my favorite. I really enjoyed him. I don't know why. He stood out to me.
What would you rate it?
I would rate it, don't hate me, probably like a 6 out of 10 for me. But like I said, going into it, like I don't really keep up. I've never even looked into the comic. Like I don't know anything. So for me, it wasn't like a movie I would typically seek out. And I don't really think it would be something that I would rewatch because like I said, if I didn't seek out the first time, like I probably wouldn't put it on again. But I did enjoy Superman. And I think that one was just very colorful, very lively, I feel like. So I think that was kind of the distinction between both of them for me.
That's fair. That's fair. Not your cup of tea, but still gave it a shot.
Yeah. Still think it's worth seeing for sure. Especially if you're into it. I don't think you should sell it short because of anything anyone's saying.
Yeah, don't be influenced except by us.
Yeah.
I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. I really liked Millie Alcock's take on Supergirl. I thought she was great.
I thought she was serving face.
I like,
She was beautiful.
the entire time. Killed it. The villains were lackluster. They were kind of these nobodies and just kind of bland, terrible, not great guys. They were very sinister, very dastardly.
Yeah.
No morals, but
They were just kind of like weirdos.
yeah, they were just
like
there.
when they were talking about Krem or whatever. They were like, he's so powerful. He'll take care of Supergirl, whatever. And I was like, okay, like when am I gonna see this guy? And then like towards the end, I was like, wait, this is the guy. This is Krem. This is who you're supposed to be scared of.
Yeah.
a guy that's just killing like these innocent families.
I mean, yeah, but like I don't know.
But they all
he was just kind of weird.
They were all doing like the same thing.
Yeah.
And also I found it, speaking of him, how when they were like locked up and stuff, and then the girl Ruthie A escaped, and he was like, "Oh, when did you get here?" Like it almost felt like he didn't even know everything going on. So I was like, "Are you even really in charge? And why does everyone look like you?" Like I couldn't in the fight scenes when it was very chaotic.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
where he fell into the fight scene until he was alone. And obviously then I was like, that's him. But when they were fighting, I was like, I don't know where he is. He didn't stand out very much amongst his men. And I feel like he didn't give leader. He was kind of just doing the same tasks. Didn't even know everything that his own men knew because they're the ones that found her and locked her up, So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they were just kind of bland, which is unfortunate. But the fight scenes were cool. But yeah, I would give it a 7.5. The story, enjoyed it. Loved Millie Alcock's acting. Could have benefited a bit more from the relationship between Ruthie and Supergirl. And the villain could have been better. But for what it was, I really enjoyed it, and I think it's worth going to see.
Yeah.
But anything else y'all want to add? Or
The soundtrack was really good too. I like that it seemed a lot of like female led
oh, for sure.
songs.
Yeah.
That really fit Supergirl's character of being a hot mess in the beginning.
Yeah, it's a contrast to kind of the more upbeat Superman soundtrack, and then we kind of get more of the grungy side of the soundtrack.
I enjoyed that.
It was fun. But that's gonna do it for us here, I think. And again, can't stress enough, if you want to read more about the comic that like influenced this movie, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, check it out on Hoopla, along with just the arsenal of DC comics that we have. are going to have Lobo on there too. So if you kind of want to learn more about him as well, by all means, feel free to check him out. But yeah, it's going to wrap it up with us. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Rosanna.
I'm Miranda.
And I'm Ruby.
And we will catch you guys on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.